Hello everyone, welcome back to the next session of Kanji Oboima show. Today we'll be covering kanjis 121 to 130. So let's pick up where we left off. The first kanji for today, number 121, and this is how it looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's how it looks. The meaning of this kanji is flower. Okay, now let's see how we can memorize this. Okay, at this point let me introduce a new little thing. So here, this part that we see, this part is the radical of this kanji, and this radical also implies it is grass. Okay, it is grass, or generally you can say that wherever you see this, it has something to do with plants. Okay, again, going back to the radical kanji, the radical video that I had shown you, I said there is one hen and then there is one tsukuri. The hen will show you the association of the kanji, or rather what category it falls in. So I said if you see this kanji, there is a good chance that it has to do with the body. If you have this kanji, if you have this radical, it has to do something with liquids. In a similar manner, this is a kanmuri. And this case, this kanmuri part is going to lend meaning, or it is going to be your hint. You call this a semantic hint. Okay, that is to say a hint about the meaning. So based on this, kanmuri kind of radicals will give you some kind of hint about what it is associated with. All right, so for this kanji, the kanmuri has grass, so you can understand that this is associated with plants. Okay, now we also did this part yesterday, and we said that this means change. Okay, this means change. So let us say that there is something changing and transforming, and it is turning into grass. Okay, so you can think of it as a plant that transforms. That is to say, let it be a hint for a flowering plant, and from there you have your hint that the meaning for this is flower. Okay, it's a bit of a complicated way to remember this, but you know, if the mnemonics help you out, you can use them. Otherwise, you can just try and memorize it as it is. Okay, let's move to the on and kunyomi. The kunyomi is very simple. Hana, it is one of those very basic words that most people will learn, even if they're not seriously pursuing Japanese. If they just look up some easy words, some words that you imagine nursery school children to be learning, you know, such things. Flower would be one of those words, and hana is one of those words. So people will be able to remember hana very easily. You just have to learn to associate the symbol with that word. That's it. Okay, again, the other part, the onyomi, is very conveniently, the onyomi is very conveniently ka. Again, taking you back to the radical video that I had done. So here, this was your semantic hint. And after that, whatever remains usually acts as a hint about the pronunciation. And you call it the phonetic hint. Okay, the semantic hint and the phonetic hint. If you remember, this part was called ka or ke. Of course, we wrote them with the katakana because we were talking about the onyomis, but they're basically ka and ke, and in this case, you're able to see that the ka reading maintains itself, right? This is again one bit of a warning. This is not always applicable, but we are lucky enough to see this in action in this case at least. Okay, so you can try and remember that. Once we do a few similar kanjis, I will show you a contrast. I do realize that in some of the more recent videos I did not do a contrast, so I'm thinking maybe once I do 200 kanjis, I do a bit of a recap video. Maybe, let's see. It's still in the initial stages. I have not yet thought about it. So in any case, let's move on with some words. Okay. So this is our first word. Let me scroll down a bit. Okay, this is our first word. Right. Okay. Okay. This will be read as kokka. Kokka. I hope you remember the first kanji stands for country, and of course the second kanji is what we did right now. So the meaning, I suppose, is pretty obvious at this point. It means national flower. National flower. Okay, let's have a look at the next word. Okay. This will be read as hanami. Not kaken, it will be read as hanami. Okay, this is basically flower viewing, very simply put. Flower viewing, but it is very specifically applied to cherry blossoms. To cherry blossoms, that is what you call the sakura. Okay, so whenever I think during summer, I think it's sometime around during April of a year that all these cherry blossom trees, they're in full bloom, and people go out to nearby parks and everything to just view these beautiful lightly purple or pinkish colored flowers, and that's called hanami. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, that's your hana, and I hope you remember the next kanji. We use it pretty often when you're talking about the days of the week, and you read it as hanabi. Hanabi. So I hope you remember the second kanji stands for fire. So you're talking about flower fire. So what kind of fire looks like flowers? Let me give you a visual hint and maybe you'll be able to guess it. Fireworks. I hope, well, I don't know if the drawing was good, but I hope it's conveyed the meaning. The meaning is fireworks, and what I drew were the kind of fireworks that are seen during celebrations like the 4th of July in the USA, or the Chinese New Year, or Diwali in India, you know, that kind of stuff. All right, let's have a look at the next word. Okay, this is called ikebana. Ikebana, which means flower arrangement. Flower arrangement. I apologize, but I find myself at a loss to rationalize how the kanji for alive, live, or give birth means arrangement. But you know, it's their language and their way and their system and whatnot, and it means flower arrangement. So yes, flower arrangement. Okay, the last is, this is called ohana. Ohana, which means both flower or flower arrangement. Okay, I'm not exactly sure of the two different kinds of flower arrangement we've done, but one thing I am certain of is that this ikebana refers to an activity. This is an activity. Okay, flower arrangement is something they practice as an art. It's considered a form of art, something that people practice every day, just like people practice their calligraphy. So it's something like that. I am not very sure of the second one, but the first one is definitely an activity. All right. That's all the information I have about this. I apologize. I haven't had too much time to spend in Japan, unfortunately. Although I'm not sure if that's really a bad thing. Moving on. This is the next kanji, number 122, and this is how that looks. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, again, to highlight some of the differences, and I will do this once again once we have covered all the similar kanjis. I think there is one more, and that will complete the list of all similar kanjis, but let's have a look. Okay, so the first one that we did, the kanji for change, is like so. Okay, notice how this is supposed to be the kanji for this used as a radical. Okay, person, this is the person kanji, this part. Okay, in this kanji that we are doing right now, the meaning of which I have not yet told you, this is a straight line with a perpendicular line with another line at an angle. Okay, that is one of the biggest differences. The second part remains the same. It is 1 and 2, 1 and 2. That part is the same. It does not change. Okay, so this is the point of difference. I hope you can bear that in mind. Now let's have a look at the meaning of this kanji. The meaning of this kanji is north, and let's see how we can remember this. Okay, you remember how in the kanji for change we said that this is a person who fell down on their rear end. For convenience, let us take this also to be a person who is sitting, but let us say that the vertical strokes, let me use this one, the vertical strokes, these, okay, let us say those are the backs of two people. Okay, let us say they are the backs of two people. So the meaning, or rather how you can arrive at the meaning, is two people sitting back to back on the North Pole. Okay, I will just draw it once again to show you how you can visualize this. Okay, so let us imagine there is a person like this who's sitting like so with his hands out here like so, and then there is another person sitting here who's sitting like so with his hands like so, and then this is the earth beneath them, and this is this point. So this indicates north, like you see in your maps and such. So you can see two people sitting back to back on the North Pole. Okay, let's see the on and kunyomi. The kunyomi is very simple, kita, and the onyomi is hoku. Now one very important note is hoku is a unique reading. Meaning there is no other kanji in the entire Joyo kanji, your regular use kanji, in which you will see this onyomi reading of the kanji. Hoku. Whenever there is a word hoku, unless it is like, ho, and then there, unless it is ho and then ku something something, whereas where the ku is associated with something else, or ho and ku are two separate entities or supposed to represent two separate entities, if they come together as hoku, you can rest assured that it is talking about this kanji as a rule. Okay, that's what that means. I hope you remember we have done one other kanji previously which had a unique reading. That was for Tama and the reading was Gyoku. If you don't remember, please look back. Please find which kanji we are talking about and please have a look at it. Alright, let's move on to the words. Okay, this will be read as Hokubu. Hokubu, which means north or northern part. Northern part. I hope you remember Bu means section or division, so that is why this means northern part. Okay, now let's have a look at one more. Okay, okay, this will be Hokuto. Hokuto, north and east, so it is northeast. Okay, northeast. Now similarly, if you just rearrange this, it will be Tohoku. Just the reverse of what we just did for the previous word, Tohoku. So this is Tohoku or okay, fine. Northeastern Honshu. I hope you know what is Honshu. There are 4 islands of Japan. The biggest and supposedly main island of Japan is the Honshu Island. So the northeastern part of Honshu is known as Tohoku. Okay, let's have a look at one more. This will be Hoku to, which means north by northeast. North by northeast. This is the kind of notation that you would probably use in a geography class or when you're discussing locations on a map, etc. Okay, north by northeast, or what sometimes people call north northeast and represent it as NNE. Okay, let's have a look at one more. This will be read as Kitaguchi, which means north exit. North exit. And these are some of the signboards that you will see in railway stations most commonly, and maybe even in some other larger kind of installations, maybe something like a stadium where you need multiple entries and exits to let in a large number of crowds. You can imagine these being in giant office buildings, factories, etc., which need multiple exits. So north exit, Kitaguchi. Okay, now let's have a look at the next one. This is number 123. Okay, now let's have a look at how this kanji appears. Still not very nice. The basic idea is that you write the first stroke like so and the second stroke like so, and in the second case you make it a bit more curved, so that this part is the difference. So here it's more pointed and here it's a little bit curved. That's basically the difference. Otherwise it's just like writing two katakana hi next to each other. Okay, so let me just try rewriting it one more time so it looks the way it's supposed to look, although I have my doubts about being able to do it. One. Okay, not bad, I would say. Fine. Let us have a look at the meaning. The meaning is compare, contrast, match. Okay, or phonetic. Oh, I see, I misspelled phonetic up there. Okay, there is no second E, there's only one E. Fine, please feel free to correct that. This is the correct spelling. It was a mistake that I made previously. Anyway. Okay, that's how that is. Let's try and see how we can remember this. So here, so far we have been comparing this second half, the second part as a person, right? And on the other side, that is both in change as well as in north, we said that the left half of the kanji was also another person. But let's say that that second person in this case changed their position. This is first person, let me call this second person. Okay, so the second person changed their position to compare their size and shape. Okay, the second person changed his orientation, changed the way he was facing, so he could look more like the first one and compare both their size and shape. Alright, bit of a convoluted meaning, but still. Okay, let's move on to the on and kunyomi. The kunyomi is kuraberu, and the onyomi is hi. Okay, hi. Now let's have a look at some words. This will be read as muhi, that is to say without comparison, okay, or incomparable, okay, or peerless, unparalleled, okay. The hint being without and compare, or without comparison, no match, without match. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay, this will be read as he o minai. Okay, again the same kind of meaning. Comparison cannot be seen, or comparison is not seen, or again unparalleled. Okay, let's have a look at the kunyomi reading. Kuraberu, which means to compare, or to contrast, to compare or to contrast. Okay. Now a phrase where you can use this. Okay. I will write the katakana part of it. Okay. So A will be read with the A. Okay. A to kurabete, which means compared with A dot dot dot. Okay, something, it's just part of a sentence, compared with A. Okay, that's how you use it. And then the next word, this is where it's a little bit interesting. Okay, this will be read as Nichihi, and this is not compared with the sun. That's not what this means. It means Japan and the Philippines. Japan and the Philippines. Oh, I misspelled Philippines. Let me write that down again. I apologize. Philippines. Okay, Japan and Philippines. Or it means Japanese Filipino. Okay, Japanese Filipino relations or some such thing. Okay, Nichihi. Okay, now before we can move on, I would like to do the comparison bit, which I did not do in the previous few videos. Let me choose a thicker brush. Okay, so let us have a look at the kanjis one by one. So this is change, this is north, and this is compare. Okay, this is change, this is north, this is compare. Okay, the point to be noted is how it is this part that is different. Okay, the left part is different for all of them. In the first one, it is a person kanji, the simple person kanji. Here, it is more like a mirror image of the kanji for up. You know, the kanji for up is like this. You've just inverted it. You've given a mirror image of it. It is 1, 2, 3. Okay, and here it is an exact copy of the stroke on the right, except instead of writing it exactly, you will just make a rather sharp kind of flick of your pen or brush to get that stroke right. But it is supposed to be an exact copy or a rough copy of the stroke that comes on the right side. So that is the important distinction between the kanjis. So please remember, change, north, and compare. A person, so here for change, it is like a person changed and became into the symbol on the left after they tripped and fell. In case of north, it is two people who have their backs to each other on the north pole. And in case of compare, the second person decided to turn around and imitate the first person and compare their size and shape. Okay, I hope that clarifies the difference. This is something to be borne in memory, which is why I'm deleting it from here. Alright, now let us do the next kanji, number 124. This is number 124. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, again, let's see. So I hope you can easily tell that this first part is two people with their backs to each other. At the North Pole, right? You remember that part? Now, what exactly are we talking about? Two people with their what's to each other at the North Pole? Their backs. So how do we signify that we're talking about their backs? We'll simply add the moon kanji to imply something that has to do with body or flesh. Okay, so I hope you can tell the meaning of this kanji is back or stature. Okay, their back or stature. Two people with their backs to each other, and we're talking about their back. And how do we signify that we're talking about back and not the place where they have their backs to each other? With the moon kanji at the bottom. All right, now let's have a look at the onen kunyomi. Some similar kunyomis. The first one is se, then you have se, then you have somuku, then you have somukeru, okay? And the onyomi for this is hai, okay? Now let's have a look at some words for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. This will be read as haibu, which means your back. Again, back and division or back and section meaning your back, right? Let's have a look at this. Will be read as seikurabe, which is a comparison of statures. Right? You're comparing the stature of two people, right? Let's move on to the next one. This will be read as senaka. Again, this means back. Okay. If you want to think of how you'd like to distinguish between seibu and senaka, generally when you want to talk about your back, you will say senaka. Okay. When you want to say something like my back hurts, you will use the word senaka more commonly or in very plain speech. I am not very sure under what circumstance you would use seibu, but generally when you want to complain to your, let us say, your mom at home, and you're like, oh mom, meri peeth mein dard hai, my back hurts, you'd be using the word senaka. Okay, I'm not sure it was very useful, but still. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. Okay. Somuku, which means go against or disobey. You can think of it as turn your back on, something like that. Turn your back on, which is going against or disobeying. Okay, let's have one more. Okay, this is somukeru. Somukeru, which means to turn one's face away. Again, turn your back on. Very similar. Somuku and somukeru. Very similar. Okay. Let's have a look at the next one. This is number 125, and now we are going to see a break from the pattern. Okay, this is how we write that kanji. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. All right, and the meaning of this kanji is vehicle, car, or another meaning is wheel. All right, vehicle, car, or wheel. Okay. It could be a little difficult to visualize this one, so I'm not going to do the mnemonic. Fine, I will tell you the on and kunyomi directly. So the kunyomi is kuruma. Kuruma. So when you want to talk about cars, you're just going to say kuruma. And the onyomi is sha. Sha. Let's have a look at some words for it. Shatai, body and car, so this is body of a car. Body of a car. Okay, then let's have a look at the next word. Okay, okay, this is jinrikisha. Jinrikisha, which is rickshaw. I hope you can see rikisha, rickshaw. It's very close. It's not too difficult to or too hard to imagine what it could be. So you can think of it as human pulled cart. Human pulled cart. Okay. Rikisha, which becomes rickshaw. I'm not even sure. It may even be the case that the word rickshaw entered into English from rikisha. I don't know. Or maybe the Chinese way of saying it. I don't know how the Chinese say it. Okay. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay. And this is geisha suru. Geisha suru, which means to alight. To alight or get off. Okay, geisha suru, to get off of a car, for example. Geisha suru. Let's have a look at the next one. This is more like a phrase rather than a word in itself. This is kuruma de iku. Kuruma de iku, which means go by car. Go by car. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. I'm rushing through these because they're quite simple. Okay, this is suisha. Suisha, which means water wheel. Don't think of it as a water vehicle and therefore a ship. Please don't think of it like that. It means water wheel. Okay. Now let's go to the next kanji. This is number 126. And this is how it looks. Okay. The meaning of this kanji is gas or spirit. Spirit not as in alcohol, but more like, spirit as in he's got a lot of spirit. They have a lot of spirit, team spirit, that kind of spirit. Okay, you're talking about the abstract spirit. All right. The on and kunyomi for this, actually there is no kunyomi for this, it only has two onyomi. The first is ki and the second is k. Okay, so this I didn't do the mnemonic because it's a little tricky, but I'll still try. Okay, try to imagine this part, these three strokes, as vapors escaping a particular, just try and invert it, like just rotate it by 90 degrees, and then you'll see something like, like this. So you can think of it as vapors escaping from a particular place. This is also very interesting because in Japan they use a particular symbol for hot springs, and that symbol is something like this. I hope you can see the similarity between the two symbols. Okay, so that's one way for you to remember that this means gas or spirit. Okay, it's not a perfect description, but try and remember it as gas or spirit. Let's move to some words. This is kitai, which is the body of the gas or vapor, which means gas or vapor. Gas or vapor. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. This is taiki, which means big gas or big vapor. So what could we be talking about? We're talking about the atmosphere. The atmosphere. Okay. Then let's have a look at the next kanji. Okay, this means honki, or rather you read it as honki, which means seriousness or earnestness. Okay, here this part means your true, real. Okay, and this means spirit. Okay, which means you're going to be serious about something from now on. Honki wo dasu. If you've heard of that phrase, at least in anime, you must have heard of that. Honki wo dasu. Okay. A bit of trivia, if anyone is interested. Let me rewrite that better. I hope you can read this. This is all kanjis we have covered. This is ashita kara honki o dasu. 明日から本気を出す which means I'll be serious starting tomorrow. Or okay, let's not from tomorrow. Okay, I'll be serious from tomorrow. I hope you can understand that this is not a serious phrase. It's not a sincere phrase. It does not mean that you're actually start going to be sincere from tomorrow. It's like it's a way for you to put off something. This is how you postpone something. You're like, ashita kara honki odasu. I won't do it today. Let's see tomorrow. Something like that. It's a way for you to procrastinate and postpone things. So this is a bit of a funny phrase. Don't use this at work. You're likely to get in trouble if you do so. Okay, this is just trivia. I hope you feel like now you're learning the language because you're able to write everything and you're learning phrases. It's only going to increase from this point. So I hope you're having fun. Okay, enough of an aside. Let's move on to the next one. You read this as yaruki. Yaruki, which means motivation. Motivation, willingness, mind, that is to say determination. Okay, basically mind to do something, that is determination to do something. Okay, yaruki. Here, for those of us who've been studying, yaru is also another verb used to mean do. So it is like doing spirit, right? Doing spirit. So what is doing spirit? It is motivation. Okay, that's how you can bear that in mind. Let's have a look at the next one. This is read as kiniru. Kiniru, which means to like or be pleased with. Okay, it's a little difficult for me also to rationalize this, so I'm not going to. I apologize if you were expecting for it. If you're waiting for me to come up with one, I apologize. Anyway, moving on to the next one. This is number 127. Okay, this is how that looks, and let's try and rationalize this. Okay, so you're talking about water, and you're talking about vapor. So what is water vapor? Steam. Okay, the only difference is you don't have this little katakana me in there, that little X mark. That is the only thing that is missing. Okay, so just bear that in mind. Otherwise it's water and vapor. Okay, let's move to the on and kunyomi. Again, very conveniently, we do not have any kunyomi for this. We only have onyomi, and the onyomi is ki. You see how both of them are ki? So here in this case, the case of water vapor, your this part is the radical, which is why it gives you the hint about the meaning, and the rest of it gives you the hint about the pronunciation. See, it's holding true in this case. Okay, ki. Let's have a look at one more, or rather let's have a look at one word for this. The book only has one word, so this will be over really quickly. This is Kisha. Kisha, which means steam train. Steam train. Okay. Let's quickly move on to the next one. Number 128. This is how that looks. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Let's see what is the meaning of this first. The meaning is nature, innate quality. By nature, you do not mean environment, not that kind of nature, but more like human nature, animal nature. That is his nature, this is my nature, that kind of nature. All right, another meaning is sex or gender. Okay, and another is where you use it as a suffix which conveys the meaning ity. So for example, sensitivity is a word where the ity suffix shows up in English. So you can imagine this kanji being at the very end of the word and the meaning would be sensitivity. Okay, so let's try and see how we can remember this. So I hope you remember we did a kanji like this, which meant heart. At that time, I think I mentioned that this kanji gets shortened to this. This is how that gets shortened to, or sometimes you can even see it like this at the bottom, any of these two variations. So in this case, this is the variation, and we know that this means life or to be born. Okay, so together you can mean heart or mind that one is born with. Heart or mind that one is born with, which means to say their nature or their innate qualities. Okay, now let's have a look at the on and kunyomi. Again, very conveniently, we do not have any kunyomi, we only have onyomi. And once more, very conveniently, the onyomis are sei and sho. Sei and sho, both of which are also onyomis for the umareru umu kanji, which is the tsukuri of this kanji. Okay, the hen and tsukuri. I hope you remember. The hen is the left part, the tsukuri is the right part. The right part will give you a hint for the pronunciation, the left part gives you a hint to the meaning. So the semantic part means heart or mind, and the phonetic part means sei or sho, or that is the hint that it gives you. All right, let's have a look at some words. Okay, this is hito no sei or human nature. Okay, this is honsho, which means someone's true nature or true personality. Okay, and let's have a look at one more. This is danse, danse, which means man or male. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. This is seibetsu. Seibetsu, that is gender and separate. Okay, which means distinction of sex, is whether someone is male or female or what have you, or alternatively it means gender. Okay, seibetsu. Okay, now let's have a look at the one example of word where we can see this as the ity suffix. Okay, ante se. We know ante means stable, so if you add ity to stable, it becomes stability. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. This is number 129. This is how that looks. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I hope you know that this is a very I don't know how common it is, but it is at least one of the older well-known practices of farming. You sometimes set fire to the ground to clear all the weeds and other plants, and then you start cultivating stuff. So this is what that represents. I hope you remember that this means field or a rice field, right? And here you have the kanji for fire, so you can think of it as set fire to a field in order to cultivate it. Okay, in order to cultivate it. The meaning is cultivated field. Okay, cultivated field. And let's have a look at the on and kunyomi. One of the fewer examples where you only have kunyomi and don't have onyomi. Okay, one of the onyomis is hata. Then you have hatake. Then you have suffix batake. Okay, piece of trivia: if you know Naruto, then you know Naruto's teacher, Kakashi sensei. The whole name of Kakashi sensei is Hatake Kakashi. This is that Hatake. Okay, his last name is Hatake. This Hatake. All right, let's have a look at some words. You can read this kanji two ways. The first is tahata. Tahata. You can also read it as dembata. Dembata. So this is fields and rice paddies. Rice fields and cultivated rice fields. So fields and rice paddies. Okay, let's have a look at the next word. Let's have a look at the next word. Okay, this is Hanabatake, or field of flowers. Or a flower garden. Okay. Let's have a look at the next word. Okay, I hope you can read the first part. I'm just going to write it back again in katakana. It is read as kohi. And again batake. So this is a coffee plantation. Right, pretty obvious. This is one of these simpler kanjis where you can easily just understand or associate the plantation or garden or field meaning to whatever comes before it. Okay, pretty simple. Now let's have a look at the next kanji, that is number 130. Okay, 130. This is how that looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, the meaning is blue or green. It can mean both. It can mean both. Okay. It's a bit difficult to tell you the mnemonic for this. So for now, just try and remember that this means blue or green. We will straight away move into the on and kunyomi. Okay. It has a bunch. The first is ao. Then you have ao. Then you have aoi. Oops, I apologize. You have aoi. Okay. The onyomi is again sei and sho. Sei and sho. Sei and sho. Just one point of difference. Please note that the sei and sho that we have seen so far, this is slightly different from the part that we write in blue or green. You know, there is no extra stroke over here which is present over here. That stroke is not there, but it is supposed to represent the same thing. Like it is the same part of the kanji that shows up there, which is why the same reading sei and sho have been taken over. Okay, we will come to see how to remember that or what kind of associations to make when we see it as a component of several other kanjis. For now, just try and remember that this means blue or green. Okay, let's have a look at some words for it. Okay, this is read as seinen. Seinen, and this does not mean blue year. This means youth or a young man. Or a young man. Okay, let's have a look at the next one. This is aoi, plain and simple. Okay, it's not very well written. I hadn't noticed. Let me rewrite that. Okay, aoi. Aoi, which means blue or green. Okay. Let's have a look at one more. This will be read as Aojiroi. Aojiroi, which means pale or pallid. Pale or pallid. Think of a blue or green which is so pale as to be white. Okay, a blue or green which is so pale as to be white. Or you can even think of it as the white paint that we use in our houses when painting walls. Usually they mix in a little bit of blue, just a little bit, that kind of situation. Okay, pale or pallid. Let's have a look at the next one. Okay, this will be read as Aozameru. Aozameru, which means become pale. Aozameru, become pale. Okay, I think we're done. Yeah, this is 1:30, so we are done with the kanjis for today. Please let me know if you would really like that revision session for the first kanjis that we have done so far. Of course, I won't be doing it right now. I probably will do it around the 200 kanji mark so that we have some sufficient number of kanjis to go over. 100 is too few, and of course 130 is not really a lot better. Okay, so I will have a look at having a revision session around 200 where we'll have substantial number of kanjis with a lot of similar looking ones. And leave me a comment or two, let me know what you think. Thanks again for watching, and see you next time.